Hey basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about the cameras that you can use when you're making a highlight tape so that you can get recruited. So one of the things that every single basketball player needs to do when they're trying to get to the next level, so if you're trying to get from high school up to a university level, or if you're trying to get from a regular high school into a prep high school, you may need a highlight tape as well. When you're going from university up into the pros, you're going to probably need a highlight tape as well. Now, of course, if you're going from university up to the pros, you already have footage. It's very simple. You just download it off of the school's website or wherever you get your footage from. That's super easy. When you're at the high school level trying to get up to the university level, you're going to need a highlight tape made, most likely recorded by yourself. Of course, there are some prep leagues and prep schools that record for their players and you just get the footage from them. That's perfectly fine. But if you're in a situation where you need to find a camera, this video is for you. There's a couple of different types of cameras that you can kind of look at and say, is this right for me? So the types of cameras are camcorders, which are historically video cameras. And then there's cell phones, there's point and shoot cameras, and then there's DSLRs versus mirrorless cameras. So going between that whole gambit, DSLRs / mirrorless cameras are more on the professional side. And when you're moving over to a camcorder, that's dedicated towards video. Not necessarily on the professional side, but could be on the professional side, depending on the model that you're looking at. When you start looking at cell phones, generally speaking, all cell phones over the last year to 2 years to even 3 years have 4K cameras, and those take really good footage, depending on the phone, of course. Generally speaking, higher-end Samsungs, Google Pixels take really good video. iPhones from like iPhone 8 and beyond, they all take really great video, and it's all 4K. So those are all kind of the different cameras. Point and shoot is more on the amateur side, but generally speaking, if your camera can do above 1080p, you're going to be all set. If your camera can do 4K, that's great. It's a higher quality video, but it's going to take up a ton of storage on your computer, and you're going to need a really good computer to edit that. I would love to pick up my computer right now and show you what I use to edit, but I'm using that to record my audio right now, so I can't. The wires are kind of iffy. I've broken a few of the USB ports on a $3,000 computer. But going from there, here's a picture if I remember to put it up somewhere up there. Now, going from there, I can also edit your footage, so you can contact me in the links in the description below. But going from there, let's talk about the different cameras that we have available. So starting off with the most amateur, which is the point and shoot. Those are generally the smaller cameras, one-handed cameras, thin, small, or they could be bigger. I personally, when I go out and record a highlight tape locally, I use what's called a Canon SX50, which is a super zoom camera. I can zoom into a crater on the moon even with that camera, but it's still classified as a point and shoot camera because I'm not taking the lenses off. It's not dedicated solely for video. It's kind of a good all-around camera. And then you're moving up to cell phones. Now, cell phones are a fantastic way of recording your highlight tapes. With a cell phone, you have the ability to share the video right away. You have most likely software on the camera or on the phone that you can actually quite literally just sit back after the game and edit it afterwards, and that works perfectly fine as well. The only issue that I have with point and shoots and cell phones is with point and shoots, you're generally only able to record for 10 to 15 minutes depending on the model, and then it shuts off the video. You're going to have to click that button again. And then with cell phones, the issue, what I find, is the storage capacity that's needed for video. If you're looking at a full game, let's say it's an 8-minute quarter game, that's a 32-minute game, you're probably going to need roughly a good 32 gigs for a whole tournament. So keep that in mind. If you have that kind of storage on your phone, you're all set, and it just takes some time to get it off onto your computer. But going from there, you can go up to the camcorder, which is next. The camcorder really doesn't have any set parameters on how long you can record for. The cell phone, you can generally record for 10 to 15 minutes. It's going to overheat and you're going to have to shut it down for a few minutes. So you generally just stop recording between timeouts and the quarters and stuff like that. Going to a camcorder, you're going to need just a 32 gig card, a camcorder, 1080p, you're all set. They're generally $200, $300, $400. They can record a whole game. You don't have to click record and not record. It just kind of goes through. You just need somebody at a tripod to put it back and forth, just like every other camera. And then you're going into the professional side. You're using a DSLR and a mirrorless. A mirrorless is what I'm using for this video right now. And those are cameras that you're taking the lenses off. You can change the lenses. They give you a higher quality video, a sharper video. They generally have larger sensors, so being inside of a gym, lower light, it's going to look a lot better. So I would use a mirrorless for the local highlight tapes I would do. The only issue I find with DSLRs and mirrorless is they generally only record for 15 to 20 minutes. Generally speaking, these cameras will not record past 20 minutes because the companies that make these cameras, if you're recording video to buy a camcorder, they don't want you to buy a DSLR for video. That's why they generally have it set for around 20 minutes. But I find with my camera, which is a Sony A6000, basically it records for only 12 to 15 minutes. It overheats, it shuts down, and then I have to wait 5 minutes for it to start working again, which is, again, why I use my Canon. I kind of like Canon better, but I got a heck of a deal on this camera. It's a $700 camera here in Canada. I got it for $50. Deals. But anyways, going from there, those are the cameras that you can look for. If I was a high school student today, I would just go and use my cell phone. I would free up space on the cell phone. If you have a 64 gig phone, if you can only use maybe 20, 30 gigs of that space, get some cloud storage and record a whole tournament. You can record it all on your phone and you're all set. And you probably already have an iPhone 8 or 8 Plus or newer anyways, because those are the most sold phones in the world, it seems like. And they all record in 4K. And basically, they've got software in there to enhance the video so that when you're inside of a gym, it actually looks good and doesn't look all yellowish, brownish, and kind of weird looking that you have to go in and color correct later on. So kind of my option, what I would say is use a cell phone. It's simple. And then when you're using the tripod, get a tripod that's not cheap but not expensive. You don't need a $200 tripod, but don't buy a $15 tripod. The difference between that wide of range is with a $200 tripod, everything works smoothly. You're not going to have video where you're trying to move it along and it's going to go click, 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 trying to get through. While a cheap tripod, you're going to be moving the video along. It's going to be jumpy because the head doesn't move slowly or smoothly. But you can get a tripod, like the Canon tripod I've got right there is worth around $55 Canadian, which in the States you could probably pick it up for around $40. And it's got a smooth head. It's a great tripod. Again, I got a deal on that one. I got it for $10. I used to work at Best Buy, and if you can go in there and work at Best Buy for like a couple of months and you can get some damn good deals, 100% do it. But going from there, I also got a deal on my MacBook too. That's a story for another day, but I got a $3,000 MacBook for $2,000. Anyways, I hope that this video has helped you choose the type of camera that you're looking to buy. I know I kind of went on to a couple of other subjects for a few minutes, but I hope that this video has helped. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, comment below with any of your questions. And if you want me to edit your highlight tape, 100% contact me and I'll help you out. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another Twice a Day basketball video.